Okay, so I'll do quickly the things in my terminal. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I have Git installed in my machine here. So Git version. Okay. So let's create cd stuff, and I'm going to create one folder called. Okay, suppose I'm going to make this folder. So what I have to do, first thing to make a folder, for make a repository, what I have to do first? Anyone?
Init,
Yes, git init. Okay.
git init.
So I have to first initialize it. Okay. So git init. So I just initialize this to a repository. So it will create one dot git folder for that. Okay. So nothing is there. If I do ls-lrt-a, so I can see here dot git folder is created. So all the required git libraries and libraries and binaries, everything will be there in this folder. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, let's create one file here. So this branch will be our master branch, right? So if I see here, let's create one simple file. I'm just adding one test.txt. Sorry.
I can create it.
Yeah, yeah. Something I just added it here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a branch. So what is the command to create the branch? Git
Git branch.
git branch, then branch name. Okay. Branch, and suppose I'm going to create, suppose dev 1 point, sorry, 1.0. What happened? Not a valid object name master. Okay. So git is not displaying anything. So let's create. It's not git check out. Okay. So now I created. So see, either you can create a git branch and then branch name it will create, or else you can do git checkout hyphen b and then branch name. What it will do, it will, as I told last class, it will create a branch and then it will check out. So it is switched automatically to devs. So if I do git branch here, it will display me. Why it is not displaying anything?
Git branch icon on.
No, 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 it should be git branch. Highlights remote section. It is not displaying here. Okay, maybe let's just quickly connect to that server. Okay, anyway, so I am into the dev version, right? So if I do ls-l, still the text.txt file is there. Git check out dev/1 paths. Version files. I think there's some problem in my Git installation here. It is causing some problem. Let me quickly log in this.
Yeah, actually, I also tried in server. They're also same. I'm able to see the files without much.
So without merging, you are able to see the files. It's
Yeah,
not,
in master.
it should not be the case. Let me do that one second.
So Ranjit, I also did. I was facing same issue.
That means you updated in the branch and then it is already there in master. Okay. How come it is last class we saw, right? Okay. So let's
Yeah, yeah. That's why I have verified two times your video. Then
okay. So let's do this now. Okay. So suppose I just updated this and if I see here, I will be in the master. Okay. I do git branch. So okay, I'm into dev 1.0. In the last class I was in the dev 1.0. Suppose let me just okay. So if I do here ls-lit, here you can see module 1, module 2, and these two things are there, right? So let me create another thing is module 3. Okay. So let me create anything. Okay. Um,
So you are creating the module inside the another branch?
yes, I'm creating inside the another branch. Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think, okay. So here I have created the module 3 in which branch, if I check here, I am into dev 1.0. I am into dev 1.0 branch now. Okay. So I created a module 3 in the dev 1.0. So let me switch to master. Okay. Let me switch to master. Git, I have to do checkout master. Okay. Now switch to master. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, just check -l.
yeah, it's there in model.
Hey, how come it is coming here? Model 3.cpp. Your branch is ahead of origin master by one commit. Switch to branch must use with first publish of the commits.
If you do git add, then it will say already committed.
Okay. No, so you have to. I just created. I did not. Okay, got it. So let's do that. Git. Um, okay. Okay, I'll tell you. So I'm now into master, right? Let me just tell you why it is. Now git checkout dev slash 1.0. Okay, so I created the module here. Okay, so if I do git status, so it is the file which is added now. Let me quickly add it. Okay, now git commit happen module 3 added. Okay, module 3 added. So now I just committed and it is into the module. This is into day 1.0. Okay, now let's check out to master. Check out master. See, is it there now? So what happens actually? So when we create the file, it is actually in this folder. It is not into the repositories. You got my point, right? The file will be there in the repository. It will be there in that folder, which folder we created. But when I commit it, it committed to dev 1.0. When you simply create a file without adding, because if you see here, when I did the status, what it says, untracked file. So untracked file will be there in the folder itself. It will not be there any repositories. It will be not there in any repository. Even it will not be there in dev 1.0. Suppose let me create a one file here. Sorry. Now let me switch to Git 1.1 and let's see what is happening. You can also try same time in your machine. Okay, so I just switched to dev 1.1. Let's create another file. I'm just creating a blank file. Suppose module 4.cpp. Suppose ending. So here, if I do, see, this is the folder where I'm adding the, this is the project directory. This is the project directory or project folder or the repositories where I'm going to add it. So when I create a blank file, when I create a file, it will be available for all the branches, in the sense it will be available in the folder, because we are just switching the branch, but the data is there in the folder itself. Locally you are working, it is on track. When you commit it, it will be added into the repositories. Okay, before that it will not be added. Suppose I am in dev 1.1. Now if I do git checkout dev 1.0. Okay, here also if I check here, see, module 4 is there. That means this file is not in dev 1.1 yet, because I have not committed. I have simply created a file. Once you commit it, it will be there into that particular branch. It will not be there into master until unless you merged it. Until unless you merge it, it will not be there in master. So if I do in now, let me git add.
Actually, I am not able to move to the branch, the new branch. So what is the command?
You can do git checkout and the branch name. Git checkout.
Because my folder is that branch is origin slash another folder name is demo. So I gave the git checkout origin demo
No, no,
slash demo. Correct?
so you created a branch name as origin slash demo.
Huh. Or can I show my share my screen?
Yeah, yeah, one second. So let me complete this. Okay.
Okay.
So what happened here? I just committed module 4 here. Okay. Module 4 into Git. If I do Git branch where I committed, I just committed into 1.0, the module 4. I created, but I committed into dev 1.0. So the data is committed now into dev 1.0. So let's go to the master and let's check whether it is there or not. Okay, git branch master. Okay, sorry. I have to do checkout. Git checkout master. So now I checked out to master. See, nothing is there here, right? Not module 4, not module 3. Okay, so Venkat, is it clear now?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you can create any
Got it.
file, any number of file you can create in this folder. So when you are working on any branch, right, or anything, any branch, so you have to commit into that particular branch. Then it will be there in the repositories. Otherwise, it will not be there. Okay. So Bidu, what was the thing? Okay, let me stop my screen. You can share yours. One second. Let me make you presenter.
Okay. Actually, I have one branch. I was trying to commit something. Okay, let me
Okay,
share.
now you can share your screen.
Yeah, thank you.
So guys, one of you please help him. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. If you
I
are,
hope you are able to see.
yeah, I can see your screen. So I just request
Okay.
other people to comment on this. So let's see if you understand what he is doing. Okay. Yeah.
So here is a this is my branch details.
Okay. You without hyphen r, can you give just give git branch? Just give git branch. Yes, that means see, when I give hyphen r, it gives the remote. R means remote. It gives a remote uh, branches. Okay, you don't have. You should not give hyphen r. So if you want to see the remote details, you have to give it. So you only give git branch or give branch hyphen a. So it will give you the details. Okay. Suppose you created a branch called origin slash demo. You are into origin slash demo.
Okay, how to move to demo branch?
Just do git checkout demo. Git checkout. Okay, now you switch to demo. Suppose if you want to go to main, then you have to go to the again git checkout main.
Okay, so now inside the demo, I want to commit something.
Yes, first check whether you have created anything. So what is the command
So
you
you
say?
just again you just type git branches so that you can understand where you are now.
Yeah, do git
Okay,
branch.
git branch, right?
Yes. So you
Yes,
are in
Yes.
branch.
demo. You are
Okay.
in demo now. Okay.
Uh,
So
And so from there itself you want to be commit the thing, then it
yes.
can be present there.
Okay, so now the file has created.
mhm.
So I need to do add, right?
First, do git status, check what are the files are there. Just git status to check always see before doing adding anything. First, make sure what are the things you have created and what are the things you have modified. Don't blindly do git add dot, because if you give git add dot,
Okay.
whatever things are modified and you don't want to add into repository unnecessarily, that will be adding. So always before doing, just check what are the things you have modified. Okay. So then, if you want particular file to be added and to be committed, then you can just give add git add and the file name, so it will commit
Uh,
that, it will add that particular file. Okay, if you don't unnecessarily, don't
okay.
always give git add dot. If you are working practicing something, always see.
The dot we can use it, it's having multiple files you want to be commit.
Exactly, yeah, if there
So
are
if it is having one file means there is no need to be put dot.
Yes, yes. So here I can do add dot, right?
anything, you can, if you give dot it's okay, if you don't give dot it's okay.
Git also.
Now it is there.
Now I can go for git commit, right?
Yes.
You can see git
Git
status.
commit hyphen m space comment
Uh,
enter. Yes, it's done.
so we need to git push, right?
To, yeah, to your
Demo. I want to push the file to demo folder only, demo branch.
wait. What
You are in demo branch.
you are already in demo branch, right?
Okay, so here directly it will be pushed to that.
No, why okay, what, okay. So first tell me,
No, no.
No,
first tell
you
me,
had,
wait.
I think
First, first
you
tell
had
me,
to use match is looking for. Okay,
what
okay.
he first let me tell let okay. Just tell me what you want to do first thing.
Okay, See, if you'll see my here, GitHub,
Mhm.
I have already pushed in the main branch.
Okay.
Okay.
Got your
If
point.
suppose
So
I was I want
you want to push it to remote repositories. So that is your question. You
for
want
branch only.
to remote repository only that particular branch, right? So what you have to do
This is the
origin
my
demo branch.
demo one.
I got it.
Here I have already two files.
Okay.
So now I created another file today, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. So I got it. So guys, can you tell me, tell Bidu what he has to do now?
Git push origin demo.
Yes. Just give origin, origin space, space, not slash, not slash, not slash, space,
Okay, okay.
space, demo. Enter.
Okay. Actually, I was giving origin slash demo.
No, it will not work.
That is the reason I think it didn't. I think now
Yeah, it is
see
pushed.
the file.
Two branches created.
Yes. So the file will be there now.
Recently, push.
Yeah, new file is coming.
And one more
Yeah,
thing,
test two.
why the other file came to in the branch?
I think you already had merged it.
Merge, so that is what it, because I thought the only whatever I modified in the demo branch, so it should come to only demo
Yeah, now do
folder, right?
now do ls-l now ls-l. Check what are the files there in locally. So whatever things there in locally, it will come to the remote. See, all these files are there. That's why everything is updated
Hmm.
into remote repositories.
But how I was in the demo folder branch, then I don't know how.
So you are in demo branch, right? So in the demo branch, all these files are there. In demo branch, all these
Ah,
files are there. That's why all these files are updated, pushed to remote repositories. So
okay,
when you
okay.
do push origin and demo, if you give whatever there in demo local branch, everything will be pushed to remote repositories.
Actually,
Okay.
that branch is moved to the origin. Due to the whatever your branch in demo branch, that all things will be in remote branch.
Yeah.
The one file also you can transfer, means we can push it, but you push the full branch. Whatever local branch is there, same branch will be there also in Git remote.
Okay.
Anything in the local, it will be reflected. If you do push, it will be reflected in remote also. That is what the command is used for, right? So you are going to sync between your local and remote. So everything will be there in the remote also.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side. I
okay,
had the doubt.
you can now
Okay.
stop the screen sharing. So I'll share my screen
Yeah.
and we'll move
Thank
forward
you.
to the GitHub organization creation. Okay. So let me just quickly. Go
Uh, Ranjit, I'm just using fast shell. There, I don't see any confusion and all, whatever these guys are encountering. So it is clear, like, what are the, like, by seeing that command prompt itself, I can see which repository I'm in, which branch I'm working on it, everything it is visible. So, if they, like, install fast shell, it will be helpful for them to understand this thing. I just shared my screen into our group chat.
Okay. So what is that? 1 second. Means what? You meant to say like if you are using bash shell and you'll see which repo you are working, right?
Yes, Ranjit. Yes, Ranjit.
So, okay, that's true actually. So when you are using Git bash, right, you'll see like whatever the screenshot. So you guys are working. See, we are working on the remote Linux machine, right? We don't need Git bash there. So if you're working on the Windows machine, then you can use Git bash. So Git bash has a feature which will give you which branch and which branch you are in currently. You don't have to do Git branch to check out which branch you are. It will automatically show you anyone whoever working, they can easily see which branch they are in the git bash. Okay, but if you are using any other terminal, any other Linux or Unix machine, you will not get it, it will not show you in the site, right? That's true, yes. So if you are using Windows machines, then git bash, you have to use git bash only. Okay, fine. So if we go, okay, so people, yeah, definitely you'll get questions in the interviews or whenever you are going to work any company. Remember, you will be working on organization. So GitHub organization. Okay. So how you have to create the organizations and how you have to put the files there. Okay. Let me show you today. So let me see the repositories here. So if you just click on this icon, you can find it here, right? If you just go here, your organizations will be there, right? So just click on this, your organization, and here you can see I have only one organization created, DevOps, right? Suppose if you want to create a new organization, just click on this new organization and see they have a plan actually. So it is actually there for enterprise version, they are charging $21 per user per month. For one user, see how much companies are paying for that. So company definitely you'll be using enterprise version, right? Definitely using enterprise version. For enterprise version, per user they're charging $21 per month. Okay, and also they have free versions. You can create free repositories, free organizations. Okay, and then you can use it. So you can just go ahead and create a free organization and then just create it. Okay, it's very simple to create. Just give a name and all the details, and then it will be created. Let me create one. So what you have to provide? So it is just verifying my account. Okay, please solve this project. So okay, I'm not going to create it. So this is the simple only. So thing is, you have to just give the organization name and the email address. Obviously, the contact email address, your administrator or your project email address or whatever is organization, your administration or who is managing the GitHub, his email ID. So this organization belong to my personal account. If you want for the personal account or a business institute, if you want, you just give it and then verify it, and next time it will be created. Okay. So I have already created one organization. Let's just go to this organization. Remember why I'm telling, when you go to any company, I think Sivaram, you're telling something, you will be also working on organization, right? You'll be in one organization. If you are working for a project, see why organization is created. Anyway, for organization name in itself is the things to organize the things, organized way. So when we create the organization, what will happen? That particular organizations will be, that repositories will be for your entire team. Suppose you have in your company, suppose you have two accounts, two LOB, so line of business. Suppose you have one finance and the one, suppose you have some one thing, suppose one DB team for finance front end or something, DB team working. So they can just create two organizations, one for finance organization, which is finance people will be working for development, finance development, and for one people will be there for something, they will be creating another organization. So here what you have to do, suppose you are going to create in, suppose DevOps Rise as a create, you have to just simple thing, create new repositories here, just give a repository. So while creating the repository, you can see here, either you want to create in the parent account, like the main account, or in the organizations. So just give a name here. So I can give that organization demo, suppose. So demo. Give any description, public or private. Okay. So obviously company organization it will be private. So I'm just going to make it as public. So add a NBD file, just create a repositories. Now see my repositories organization demo created under DevOps Rise. So DevOps Rise is my organizations. Now I have switched to my organization. Same thing you will find it here also. Okay, now you will see there is a main branch. So you know also, right, how to change main branch to master branch in the settings. So that is your administrator, GitHub administrator, they will do it. You don't have to worry about that. But by default now they have changed to default one is main branch. Okay, what I'm going to do now, whatever want to change it here, everything will be reflected. So if I switch to my account, right, if I switch it to my, suppose here I am into organizations, let me switch to my switch to another account. You can just click it here. Okay, anyway, here I am into this account. So let's go ahead and create the repositories. Now I am into my parent account. This is the account where I have, and all these accounts are there. Anything I add there. So I created one project there. It is not reflected here. Here it will not be there. So organization is to, just you can see here the list organization. I have one organization here. So the organization is the things to organize the projects, whatever you are going to work. And don't get confused when you go to a company and just going to work. So you can just have to work in the everything you have to create on the organization. Okay, so one more thing, let me show you a few things which you may need in your work when you join any company. So what is that? If you see here in the remote repositories, I have two branches, 1.0 and 1.1. And if you want to, how you will merge this 1.1 to master? Because in locally what we do, we can merge it locally here and then push the master to the repo. That one thing you can do. And how you will do it, in the GitHub directly without doing these things in the local repositories. I will do, suppose I want to merge dev 1.0 to master. Okay, dev 1.0 to master. So what I have to do, if I am into dev 1.0, what I have to do, simple things. So what you have to do, simple, go to open pull request. You can do it here or just click the branches. Okay, so what you have to do, so go and create new pull request. Go and create new pull request here. Suppose 1.0, suppose I'm going to do, right, new pull request. So what it says, able to merge master. I'm going to merge dev 1.0 to master, able to merge. So this, see, this is directly I'm doing into GitHub, not from the locally to GitHub. Okay, directly I'm doing into the GitHub. So that's why this is a GUI format, UI format. So it will be easy to do that. You don't have to remember the commands to execute to merge the files. So what will happen here? You can just see it here. Create pull request or create draft. So you can just create simple create pull request. Done. So what happens here? Now it will give you merge pull request. Simply merge it. Confirm merge. So with what you are going to merge the 1.0. Merge it. Merged. If I go here now, master. See, my master branch also reflected all whatever there in the GitHub. So you can see here merge pull request has one. If you give it here, it will give you from where you got merged. It got merged from dev 1.0. Okay, so in this way we can do the merging things in the GitHub. So and see, sometimes what will happen, sometimes, because most of the time you'll be working on the local repositories. So if you are familiar with the commands and if you remember, you can simply go ahead and merge the things here. Now if I do git, suppose I'm into master now. If I do ls-l, see, nothing is there locally. So what we have to do, guys, now, can anybody tell? I'm into master now, but my local master is not up to date with remote master.
You need to do git pull like from remote to local.
So for that, what we have to do? We have to use good git pull origin master. Okay. Suppose if I do, so here what happened? I updated in the remote repositories, then pulling from remote to local. But when sometimes people are most of the people, they will also work in locally direct, merge it everything and then push to remote. Vice versa, you can do it. You can do there, get it, pull it from the locally, then work it again, push back to the remote repository. So you can do that. So what I have to do, git pull origin master. So merge master match, yes. So again, these things happened. Okay. So control O, okay, control. Okay, so it is now pulled. Okay, so if I do here ls-l, see whatever the there's whatever things are there. So I was working on Jenkins file, my previous one of my class. So here I have also added it. So it is everything has come up now. Now, okay, guys. So I think most of the Git and GitHub, you also know what is this Git ignore, why we need Git ignore and all these things. So no, see how the question comes nowadays. Nowadays, nobody asking the simple things like what is Git ignore, because everyone knows what is Git ignore to ignore the files whatever we don't need to be pushed in the remote repository. So the people are asking the questions in different, they're twisting the questions actually. So when they'll be asking how the things happening really, how you are working in your organizations, in your company, how you are working. So what is the commands you mostly work? What is the difference between pull and fetch? These things they will ask you. What is how you, if you have committed, if you have done some mistakenly you have committed, how you get it back to the previous command. So those commands they'll ask you those things. They'll, so you can tell get revert to revert the commit ID to the old commit. So if you want to, if you have uh, by mistake staged it, means added the changes to the staging area, how will go back to untracked area, unstaged area, which command you should use. Those things they'll ask you. See, when you really work, you will hardly work on few commands only, not all the commands, whatever I have given in the list. So hopefully you guys will do practice, actually do multiple way practice. Okay, create multiple branches, create multiple repositories, try to work on this, create, like Ranjit did, created a different two servers and locally he created two repositories and then he just tried to work on that. So different ways he try to do that. Also don't forget to work on the GitHub remote repositories. Try to make your hands practice, okay, hands on this remote repositories, because you are going to work, if your company, I'm not sure, because it depends on the your company, if your company using this or not. If you're using Git only for the locally and maybe report repository, something else they'll be using. Okay, so that's all guys for GitHub. So we can close this Git intro class now. So if you have any doubt or anything, you can just discuss anytime. Um, so like today we checked with Bidu, shared his screen and he did this one. So
A
everyone,
small,
yeah, please.
like suppose we have created some DevOps class repository. So to clone that into local, we are doing Git clone. The same way for organization, how we are doing cloning to into local. Suppose if you have created one organization in repository, so to clone those information to local,
Mhm.
are we using same command like git clone, or is there any other command?
Same commands. That's a good question actually. Same command because see these things actually will come. Yeah, actually, you have to always. Yeah. Thank you, Venkat, for asking this question. You have to use the same command only. Okay. So let me show you. So suppose I'll go to my organization. Go here. Go to this thing and just clone it. But when cloning, what it says, it gives DevOps rights. Got it? It gives DevOps rights. Suppose if I go my parent account, my main account. So if what suppose I want to get this one, what it will show? It will see Ranjit for GitHub. See the different account. This different account. Same thing you have to do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So any doubt, guys? So we can discuss, or else we'll move to Jenkins.
Then sometime you can tell that on how can we can conflict in the visual and how to what is that? How to merge it.
Okay, that is good things that actually I had kept you for you guys. If you see, I had shared one document for you, right? If you go to the document, I had just given a demo for that. Simple things. I created multiple files here. Simple created multiple files and demo. That will show you the conflicts. Okay, let me show you how you can do it here. Um, go back. So
Because in our organization you are not using GitHub, you are a Google repo and you are using Git only.
fine. So here, let me show you in the Git locally how to fix the conflict. Okay. If I do Git branch, you can see I'm into master. Okay. So my master branch and my DevOps 1.0 is up to date because I pulled from, I updated into the remote repositories and pulled from remote directly remote master. But my dev 1.0 1.1 locally is not up to date with master. So let me merge this dev 1.1 to master and see what is happening. Okay, so I am into so let's check it, check out dev plus 1.1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge to master. Okay, what is the command to do that? Git merge. Okay,
Git
then
merge.
yeah, merge, then branch name. Okay, 1.1 to master.
You can commit ID also. You can do the
Yeah, you can do using the commit ID also. That's okay. So what it says again, same thing. So control O C X. Nothing was. It did not show any conflict. Let me create a conflict first. It did not show me any conflict because these are the new files were created and those things been added into the master. Okay, so let me create a conflict first. Suppose okay, I am supposing to I'm into dev 1.0, 1.1. Okay, I'm changing something in the not this one. This will get confused. Okay, which one will be module one is there also, right? So let me do this module one. VI module one Java. I can just give it conflict test. Now I'm creating the conflict. What happened here? I created one things here. Same things also will be there in the master also. If I go and check out master, module one also here is there, because both day one and master was already merged one time. So both are there because I created the 1.1 from the master. So that time the module one was already there. Okay. Now what happens? I'm going to, before doing any modifications, let me do um, git checkout. I was checked up to master. No, dev 1.1. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, you can see modified, and this is modified. I'm going to add git add, sorry, git add. Okay, now what I'm going to git commit. I'm doing it quickly. Conflict test. Okay, so what happens here? I just committed into dev 1.1. So then merge it. Let's merge it to master now. Git merge dev 1.1. Sorry, master. Where I am, git already up to date.
You have checked out
Mm, module. No, it's not there. How come it is already up to date? It's not there, right? In master, I added another line conflict test, which is not in the master. It is there in dev 1.1, but it says git check. It says git merge.
you have to
Simple changed. Okay. So what happens? It updated because I was in dev 1.1, it did not work. So when I sent out to master and from master, I did git merge dev 1.1. So it is updated now. So if I see here, the file would have been merged now. Sorry, git branch. Okay. If I do module one. Okay. Now complete test file has been added. Now what I'm going to do, same thing I'm going to do for dev 1.0 to create the conflict. Okay. Now let me check out to dev 1.0. Okay. So here if I do, let's update the module one file. So here I can just add one line is called conflict tests from dev 1.0. Added something, saved it. Okay, so quickly git add git commit Retest. Now what I'm going to do, git merge def 1 slash 1.0 to master. See, I created a conflict now. Conflict. Merge conflict in module1.java. Or see, automatic merge failed, fix conflicts and then commit the result. First, what we have to do, we have to fix the error merge. We have to fix the conflict first and then we have to merge. Suppose if you can see what is the conflict, then what you can do, you can see by using the git diff to check the difference, and then you can, by two ways you can do. One is automatic way to fix the conflict, and then you can manually update the things. So for that, what you have to do first, you have to fix the conflict by going to the module1.java file. So first what it does, actually when you merge, when doing auto merging, it finds conflict, and what happens here, it will try to first merge the conflict also. It will, if it not able to do automatically, what will happen, it will fail, automatic fail. So what we have to do in this case, just 1 second. I'm just going to see the command which see here. What I have done, same thing, branch 32. What happens here? What I will open the file and edit based on the conflict line. So what you have to do, just open the file which is showing the conflict. What I'm going to do, if I open the file now, it will show me the conflict. Okay, just go to vi module 1.java. See, simply you have to just open the file. So what it says here, the master is having, so this one is having the conflict from day 1.0, and second line is this one already there, this two line, and this is which we added from day 1.0, and this is what is there day 1. So this is what is there in master. So suppose if you feel this is required and this is also required, what you have to do, simply delete this line, simply delete this one line and delete this line, delete this line. Got it? Now save the file. Now what you have to do, git, once you've saved it, you have to do git add git commit -m conflict is suffixed. Done. Now do git merge dev 1.0 to master. Sorry, so you have to first check out to master, check out master. Okay, git merge dev 1.0 to master. See, it is now, but there is no more conflict issue. So if I go to master and check the file there, module1 file, everything will be updated. See, this is from 1.1, sorry, 1.0, and this was added from 1.1. Now what will happen? Our master is up to date, but dev 1.0 and dev 1.1 is not up to date. So there is a question for you, how the dev 1.1 and dev 1.0 will be up to date. What needs to be done now?
You have to add this into the master.
Sorry?
To add push the changes.
Okay, exactly. So what you have to do, you have to push these changes to the remote repositories, and there, from there, those guys can, developer one or developer two, whoever they're working, they can just pull it or just pull it from the remote repository and can work it. Okay, so
In Git diff also you can because we are doing same thing. Sometimes I used to miss the commit or something like that. There is when you type this Git complete there, then automatically three vertical things are coming: previous, current, and next. Something that it will come in
yeah.
my system. Mm.
Yeah.
If
So
you
do git diff also. Suppose what happens, you sometimes if you see any changes, you can do git diff, right? So how you will use git diff?
Git diff and whatever the commit ID, for example, we have a version dot something like that. Every version, some module will be changed. You have to update and you have to release that one. You have to make it a Git diff.
Okay, exactly. So what I'm going to do here, see how you'll do this mode. We have two IDs suppose here. Conflict, sorry, commit ID. We have to get the commit ID first. Here one commit ID and it has a different commit ID, right? So let me copy this to commit ID and just copying this small one, okay? Let's, okay. So git if commit id 1 and what is the which one you want to just verify, just give simple things and commit here and hit enter. So it gives the entire difference here. What is the difference between this commit and this commit? It will give you the entire. See, this what happens, negative negative, it calls, that means it is removed, and this plus plus means it's just added. It's kind of, so you can just go down and you can view what are the things happen. See, these are things added in module one, it is added, and module one something is removed. All these things you can find it out. Okay, all these different things you can find it out. So you can use git diff the both commit ID which you want to see the differences. Okay. Yeah, Sibram, you're telling something. So is it clear, guys? You understood how you'll fix the conflict issue. Okay. If you don't understand, just follow these documentations, right? Whatever, sorry, whatever I have sent you, I closed it. Okay. Whatever I just showed you, right? Everything is there. All these, but just check the commands, whatever I have used. I have just created everything. You can use it. Okay. And there are a few other things also from remotely how we can work. That also I have added it here. If you want, you can also check that one. Okay. It's very simple, yeah. Just if you find any but creating the conflict itself, I did a demo creating conflict, right? It will take some time. You have to understand how I did the how I created the conflict. Can any one of you explain me when the conflict happens? If you understand that, then you can create by yourself also. When the conflict happens, can any of you? This is a question. This is an interview question.
Yeah, it, same file can be modified.
So,
Whatever in the server, and you want to upload the same file with the modified, then it will be conflict.
okay, that. But I want some real. I want something like in the real time. If two developers are working, so what situation the conflict will happen? In which situation the conflicts will happen?
Maybe in shared memory, both are developer want to change the same file. For
Suppose,
example, one commit, yeah.
yes, please.
For example, one module or two developer are working, but they want to push same time, then it will also conflict can be occur.
And suppose not same time. Suppose he pushed at some different time. Suppose today one developer pushed merged and another pushed in another time. Suppose tomorrow,
Yeah,
will it work?
then
If conflict happens.
that new developer should be take that Git pull things all the from remote, then you have to push.
No,
Otherwise, it will be conflict.
exactly. So otherwise, it will show the conflicts. Okay. So these conflicts, whatever I showed you locally acting as two developer working in two branch, and then I showed you I created the conflicts issue. But normally, as you are the one person working in local machines, they will not get any conflict over here. When you push the things to the remote repositories, that time you'll find the conflicts. Then you have to fix like what I did, what Sivram told. You have to pull the new changes, whatever is done by the developer, and then fix it there, then push to the remote repositories. So guys, do this practice at home today and tomorrow. Okay, then maybe today you do practice, tomorrow we'll discuss. If you have any doubt or anything, definitely will come. And as it is a, as I told from the beginning, it's a developer's tool, but as a DevOps engineer, you are also going to use frequently this one. This Git GitHub should be in your project. You will be going to use it mandatorily. Okay. So anything, guys? Anything else we need to discuss, or we can just have an introduction class of Jenkins? We can move on.
You will do the thinking.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, what is CI? What is continuous integration? Anyone? We had already discussed in our DevOps introduction class. I want this answers definitely. If you don't remember, then it is actually, if you go to interview, if you don't answer this, it is actually a bad indication. Okay, what is CI?
It's like whatever the changes we have done in development, we had to compile and validate, and we had to do testing, and we had to integrate everything at the one time.
Okay, so continuous integration, CI is for continuous integration. So you integrate, when you are integrating, you are doing the building, unit testing, quality check, like scanning, everything will be done in by the in the CI or continuous integration stage. Okay, so when you are just explaining, so when you are telling something to the interviewer, you have to just tell like when they are asking in integration. See, in continuous integration stage, what are the tools? Tools have different tool. People are using different tools. There are many CI tools in the market. There are many CI tools in the market, but Jenkins is a popular one. Jenkins is the popular. Most of the company using Jenkins. Okay, so this is a CI, continuous integration and build and continuous integration tool. Okay, continuous build management and continuous integration tool. So it is used for not only for continuous integration CI, but it is being used for continuous delivery and deployment also. Few companies they are using, not few, most of the companies also been using for continuous delivery. So what is the continuous delivery? Once the project is built, what is the final product of the what is the final product of the project or the code?
I think it will go for the testing or production server.
Yes, I am just asking what is the, yes, I am just asking what
That
is the
is
final product, what is the
.exe file.
yes, what is that called? That you should not say .exe file, you should say the binary file. This
Yeah, it is
is
called
that
binary only. We are using, but the extension is
you have to be careful when you are saying
binary.
the answers. You should not say .exe files, you should say the binary files, because see, binary file, all the projects, whatever, you are not going to work on the .exe only. You are going to work jar file,
Binary files. Yeah.
jar file, anything, whatever the final product will, whatever the project is going to be built, it will create the binary file, which the installable file, or you can use that file to install or to use that for any applications. Okay, so that binary file is called artifact. In DevOps terms, they call as it artifacts. That artifact will be stored in one of the artifactory. Artifactory is a remote storage system or remote repositories where you store the binary artifacts. The artifacts are the binary files. Okay, now we'll see why this Jenkins is so popular and why most of the organizations are using the Jenkins. Okay, so let me just open the PowerPoint. 1 second. So this will be very fun, guys, when we work with the Jenkins. We love it. Actually, if you give time for 1 or 2 hours per day, you'll definitely love working on Jenkins. Actually.
Bob and Artifactory both are same only.
Sorry?
Bob and Artifactory. That name.
Sure, the Bob and Artifact. Yeah, so see, different tools and different companies have different names, right? So different tools having different tracing. You're saying Bob and someone saying Artifactory, someone saying something. So it will be different. So you have to use and if you know the
I
best.
believe everywhere using the Artifactory because the term it says right, the Artifactory everywhere. Because almost all companies they use the name like that.
Artifact. There is a Nexus Artifact there, JFrog is there, and lots of other online storage systems are there. Okay, guys. So, can anybody tell what is Jenkins? As I told, Jenkins is a what is actual
I
Jenkins?
think Jenkins is the tool for uh,
Continuous integration.
Continuous integration.
Continuous integration and build management tool. Okay, you can say integration and build management tool. You can do lots of things. You can do building, testing, scanning, and unit testing, deploying. All these things you can do in the Jenkins. Okay, so let me share my screen. So I have my PowerPoint open. Okay, so here I have written like what is Jenkins? Jenkins is a free and open source automation server. It does automate. So it what automation it does? It does building, testing, scanning, and all these everything been done automatically. This is actually open source and it is entirely written in Java. Okay, this is actually a Java application. That's entirely built in Java. Okay, so Jenkins is a free and open source automation server which is entirely written in Java. So you can say if Jenkins is a build management and automate server, you can say automation server which helps in doing build management and continuous integrations. Simple things you can tell. If you want to elaborate more, then what you can say, it helps automating the parts of software development related to building, testing, and deploying, facilitating continuous integration and continuous delivery, that is CI and CD. So mostly people are using for continuous integration and continuous delivery. So for continuous deployment, they are using different tool that we'll learn later of this course. Okay. So what is then Jenkins is most widely adopted solution for continuous delivery. It is, let me change it for continuous. Only continuous delivery is not good. Continuous CI and CD. Okay, so Jenkins is the most widely adopted solution for CI and CD. So let's see how the flow works, how the Jenkins works. Okay, I'll show you. This already I have showed, I think, this diagram initially when we explained what is DevOps and all, right? DevOps introduction class. So same things, developers will change the codes and everything. It will comment the code and push the code to GitHub, and it will be triggered automatically. Um, if you have written something like automatic trigger, so this automatic trigger happens through GitHub webhook. Last class I had explained you what is webhook, but the demo and the practical things we will see when we work on the Jenkins, how the webhook works. Okay, it will be automatically triggered by webhook, and Jenkins server will do the build, test, and everything. It will be done by the Jenkins automatically. If anything fails, it goes to developer, and developer will fix it. So again, so all the issues with what of the failed messages and issues being reported from Jenkins, one mail will go to developer, one mail will go to the DevOps engineer. Based on the email and notification setup is done by your DevOps team, by your Jenkins administrator. Okay, so not all the issues is related to project, and not all the issues is related to DevOps settings. Okay, because whenever you're writing some codes, that could be some problem with the DevOps related, in DevOps engineer related, whatever setups you have done might be some issues to that. So you have to fix that issue, whatever is there. So you have to change something in the tools, you have to write some codes to do the changes. Okay, so, and once the code, once the product is built, right, you can send that one, you can deliver that one for the staging environment for further testing. For further testing, you can send it to the product testing, you can send to staging. So that part is called actually delivery. From staging, it comes to the delivery part. Okay. I just have one added it screenshot. The automated deployment. So in staging, in testing, if it is success and you can deploy into productions. If it is failed, obviously the test engineer will send back to the developers with the bugs. Then developer has to fix again, automatically push the code and automatically build it, and again everything is automatic. Not nobody will be there to do. And what happens here? Can anybody tell what are the benefits we are getting in this process? What are the benefits we are getting from this process?
First of all, time consuming. Okay.
Mhm. For what? Which
Here
time?
And
we
second
can,
thing is no is immediate fix. And everybody knows what exactly happening, and immediate fix will be uh, taken place on this scenario.
the
Yes.
first thing is company are looking for the, what is the benefit means they only take that resource will be less here. And second thing is that automatically through process whatever the no need to monitor somebody or something like that. It continuously integration and monitoring by a mail. You can come to know where the commit will be failed or something like that.
Yeah. So what happens? Let me tell you here. When a developer actually, if the developer is not using any tools to do the automations, if he is not using any automations tool, what he has to do, he has to build, he has to do the unit testing by himself. The developer has to do unit testing. The developer has to do code scanning. Developer has to do the quality check. Developer has to build the one. Developer has to do, after building, he has to send to the testing. All this work has to be done by the developer. So it takes lots of time to do this process, because any issues, anything happen, developer has to fix it, again build it, again fix it. But in this case, what happens? He simply does the code writing. He's just writing the code. He's not bothering about any building, unit testing, scanning, quality check, nothing. All these things will be done automatically by the Jenkins. So here lots of time saved by the developer, and developer now can focus on the quality of the product. He has to just check how quality, how fast he can write and build the product. So you will get lots of time and the project can be delivered faster because he has not to worry about other things. Everything will be done by the Jenkins now. Okay, here lots of resource saved. One more resource you can got it here because half of the work can be done by the Jenkins. So it could, because the build engineer and all these things is now not required. All can be once you set up, the DevOps engineers done the setups, everything, or sit only the developer will sit and do the coding and just push it to the GitHub. It will be automatically triggered and it will be done. Okay, so this is how the Jenkins works. So we'll go further how the there are lots of terms we should know what is the terms in the Jenkins. We may get questions on that. Okay, but you just understand this flow and what other things inside is happening. We'll cover all this in our upcoming classes. Okay, so what are the terms actually? So in Jenkins, you don't have to worry about lots of terms. Here are very few terms you should know, which you'll be when you will work on the project, you will have to face these terms. Okay, so what is this job and project? So these two terms used interchangeably. Some people say job, some people say project. Okay, they all refer to a runnable task that are controlled or monitored by Jenkins. This project and job is controlled and is a runnable task and project. So nobody will ask you what is job, what is project. Okay, nobody will ask you, don't worry, but you should know when working, you should know when you are working what you are doing it, working on a project, working on a job, or whatever. Okay, what is executor? You will get questions on the executor, you'll get questions on the build, you'll get questions on the plugin. Okay, what is executor? Executor is a separate stream of builds to be run on a node in parallel. A node can have one or more executors. Just try to understand, a node can have one or more executors. So executors means it's actually one kind of task, one kind of runnable task also, because when you send any instructions sent by the Jenkins, the executors will take it and execute for that. And what it says, a node can have one or more executors. What is a node? First thing, what is a node? The node is nothing but the server, the machine where you want to build the project. Suppose you are going to build a project, a Java project, and you have a build server which is specifically for that Java project. You have to create that as a node or agent. It's called a node or agent. That node will be available for the Java related applications. And when you provide that Jenkins, you have to set up that particular project or particular job should run on this particular node in this particular machine. Then you have to set up it. And in that setup, you have to decide how many executors do you need. Do you need one executors, two executors, three executors? Then how you will decide how many executors you need to add it? Based on the machine specifications, based on the server resource availability. If you are having one core processor and 2 GB or 4 GB RAM, if you create two executors, if you run and execute, it will hang, right? It will not work properly because it has very less resources of the server. The server cannot control more, same time more executions. So when you decide to create, so that is the administrator and it will do, so you don't have to worry about this executor creations and all this. So based on the server resource availability and specifications, they set up, they decide how many executors will be created. So executor which will execute the task, which will execute the task on the node on a machine. Okay. So what is the build? Build is a result of one of the project. Obviously, when you build a project, that will be a build is a result of one of the project. Once you run a project and execute it, it will create a build. Okay. What is the plugin? A plugin is a piece of software or a program that extends the code functionality of the core Jenkins server. As you know, Jenkins is an automation server, right? But it does not have own functionality to do all these tasks. It is using hundreds of plugins. It is using hundreds of plugins, thousands of plugins to do the automations. So what is the plugins? Plugin is a piece of software. It's a program. You are using this plugin like API, like every companies or the things you are using APIs, they are using the API. What is that API? API is also a piece of a program, right? It's a piece of software. They are going to use it. Similarly, the plugins also a piece of software. It is a plugin, which that plugin also is a binary that will be created, developed by somebody. Tomorrow also, if you want to create your own plugin, you can write something in Python, in Java, and you can create a plugin, and that plugin can be used in Jenkins. Okay, so these things will show how all these details we'll see in action. Don't worry about that. I just told you the terms, okay, key terms which you may face it. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to do the installations. So this is about just few terms about the Jenkins. There is not much theoretical. Everything we'll see practically only. There is not much because this is a tool. What you will tell about the tool, okay? It's not a program, not a technology, not a thing. So it's a tool to learn. So now what we have to do, we have to see everything practically, how you can use this tool to set out the build, set out the testing, and how you automate the stuff. Okay. So the installation guide, the installations is very easy. What you have to do, just simply go to the jenkins.io. This is their official page. Okay, jenkins.io. What is this? Okay. Oh, jenkins.io. If I go to the jenkins.io, here you can see the download options. Okay, just go to the download options, and you can find based on your system, it will give you the options here. You can just download Word file. For suppose if you want for Windows, it has lots of options. You have Windows, we have Docker, Windows, Ubuntu, CentOS, everywhere you can find it out. Okay, now let me show you how to install this Jenkins. Okay, for that I think I need okay, this will be a task for you, but I'll show you in my so everyone, I think you will install in your desktop, sorry, yeah, on your desktop or laptop having Windows machines. I'll show you installing this thing in the Linux. So in Windows, it is very easy to install it. Simply just click on this and it will download. Also, you'll see it will just see started downloading .ms. See .msi file, it is downloaded for Windows, and you have to just click it and next you have to add it. It will be done. Okay, I am just pausing this. I don't need this file to be done. Cancel it. Simply just download the MSI file, double click it, and you will install it. And this is a task for you. But today now I'm going to show you in the Linux machine how you will install it. Okay. Suppose I have logged into this Linux machine. Let me just quickly install this. For that, what you have to do, if you are going to install any Linux machines, just go to, okay, let's go back here. Suppose I'm going to install in Ubuntu. Just go here, Ubuntu, and it will give you some commands. Just follow these commands. Just follow these commands. Every time you have to follow the documentation. Sorry, every time you have to follow the their official website to update, to install any software, any tool. Always follow their official website, follow their documentations. Okay, so let me copy this. So what it does, wget to download this key, okay, from their website, from their. So I'm just doing duplicate here. It's okay. Now sudo sh to this one. Done. Now, okay, sudo apt-get. So apt-get is the package manager. Okay, sudo. Let me copy. Why should I? So sure, sudo apt-get update. So it will just update the entire packages. Okay. Done. So it's now updated. What I'm going to do now? It's simple. Just sudo apt-get install Jenkins. It will install. Yes.
So if you terminate this server, every time we have to install, right?
Sorry. Yeah. If you terminate this server, then again you have to install it. Because if you terminate it, it will create a new server. Then you have to install it. So what do you do? Install if you have laptop or desktop, just install it there. So you can use it. I have already. Wait. It is failed. It is failed. Okay. So why it is failed? Because there is no Java installed. One prerequisite I forgot to tell you, because it is a Java application, you should first install Java in your machine. Java should be there. Okay. Because it is not able to start, I definitely something related to Java which is not installed here. Okay. Suppose if I do Java versions, Java hyphen B, Java not found. See, Java is not installed. So you have to first install the Java and then follow the steps. Remember, first install the Java. Okay, I have one installation documentation created for you. So you can just, I'll share this installations of Jenkins and CentOS server and all this. Okay, so I have created one thing, so I can share with you. You can just follow the, see in this page what I have given. I have first installed the Java. First you have to see, this is what they have not given anything in this page. If I go back, they should have given anything prerequisites, right? Okay. Before downloading, please take a moment to review the hardware and software requirement. Okay. Once Jenkins package has been downloaded, proceed to installing Jenkins. Okay. You just go, once you download, just go installing Jenkins. And here I think they would have given the details. So Jenkins is a typically run as a standalone application. So Java servlet. Okay, nothing is. No, okay. No prerequisites, nothing they have given. Maybe somewhere they have given, I'm not able to find it out. So let's see the hardware specifications. Okay. So in the hardware specifications, minimum prerequisites they have given 256 MB of minimum RAM, 1 GB of drive space, although 10 GB is recommended. Okay. So anyway, this is fine because this will not impact any of your systems. It is require very few resources only. Here it is there. The software requirements. See, this is what the hardware requirement and now software requirement. See, Java. Java is most required because this is one of the Java applications. Okay. Now, just Java requirements. See what are the Java we can install for Ubuntu or Jenkins. So running on Jenkins, Java 8 runtime environment are supported in both 32-bit. So remember, if you have less than 7, 8 or more than 11, it will throw error. It will not work. Okay, you can either Java 8 is mostly supported. Java 8 runtime environments are supported in both 32-bit and 64-bit versions. Also, if you have Java 11 versions, it will support for maybe 64-bit versions, but it will not support for 32. Okay, So what happens? It said Java 11 runtime environments are supported. Java 7 and prior are not supported. Java 9 and Java 9 and 10 are not supported. So if you are in installations, if you are seeing any issues while installing the applications or installing the tool, just make sure which Java version you have, whether you have 7, 9 or 10. Either what it says, it works on 8 and 11, but it does not work. So Java 12, 13, 14 also are not supported. It just works on 8 and 11. So always, so better just go for Java 8. Okay. So for Java 8, what we can do, you can just install Java 8, downloading and running Jenkins. Okay, it's not required. So you know how to install the Java. Okay. For that, I have just prepared these documentations here, not this one. Okay, so installing the Java. So you can install the Java by using this. Suppose if you are using in CentOS, you can just go ahead and just use these documentations to install the Jenkins. Okay, so if you are using uh, for Ubuntu, just search for install Java. Suppose Ubuntu 20.4, I have Ubuntu 2.0. So go DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean actually very good documentation it provides always for installations and anything. So, okay. So simple things. I don't have any Java version. So if I do in Ubuntu, if I do Java hyphen version, I don't have anything. It says how to. Also, you don't have to follow the documentation. You just do Java version. If it is not there, it also suggests how you can just use the uh, Java to just install it. Okay, it gives install default JRE. Suppose if you do default JRE, it will give you the latest version of the Java, which will not work. Don't use default JRE. You can use OpenJDK 8 or 11. Okay, so let's see this documentation. What happens here? See, it is also saying default JRE. So if I give the default JRE, it gives 11 versions. Okay, let's see for us what it gives. Okay, let's give the sudo. You have to just copy this line and paste it here. Sudo apt install default JRE. And if you want specific for 8, just go and again search install Java 8, install Java 8, then you'll get it. Another one, OpenJDK 8, you can find it out. Okay, so just go here Linux is, and you'll find uh, see OpenJDK 11 JD. This is 11 version. So if you want for 8, OpenJDK 8. Okay, so this is what you have to install it. So let me see whether the installation is completed. Okay, so let me see now whether Java is installed or not. Okay, see now what happened? OpenJDK, this version is now added. Okay, now if I install Jenkins, let's see what is happening. Sudo apt install Jenkins. Install. Yes. Okay, let's see what is happening. Okay, so it is setting up Jenkins. Okay, let's see if it is going through or it is throwing any error with in the Java 1.1, sorry, 11 version. Okay, Java 11 version. What is saying? So if it will not work, then we have to install back to Java 8 version and then we have to check in. So guys, now what do you do today? Just try to install. Just don't just follow the documentation whatever I told you, right? Just follow this installation page of Jenkins, okay? And you can just try to explore what is there, okay? And try to install the Jenkins. I'll just show you after installations. There are a few things you have to do also. There are after installation there are a few things to. So let's see. It is taking some time to do. It's taking lots of time. Maybe one not fully installed. Zero upgraded, zero newly installed. It's okay. Okay. Now what do you do here? Let me show you the documentations. What you find it out in this documentation. If you see, let me maximize this. I think I can easily find it out. See, once you install all these steps is completed, right? So how you have to use, you have to just use the IP addresses and then 8080. 8080 is the default port of, remember 8080 is the default port of Jenkins. Okay, suppose I have already Jenkins installed in my locally, in my laptop. I can show you. But if once you install Jenkins, you'll get installation success. What you have to do, if you are using your laptop or desktop, you have to use local host instead of this IP. You have to use local host if you are using your laptop or desktop. If you are using any AWS EC2 instance, you have to get the public IP address colon 8080. Got my point, guys? You have to use the IP address, public IP. See what I've given here, DNS or IP, your IP of your machine 8080. If you are using your own desktop, you can use localhost colon 8080. Once you enter, as this is a web-based application, remember Jenkins is a standalone web-based application. It is not a desktop application. It is a web-based applications. Okay, this is very good things you have to remember. You have to these things, because this is not a desktop applications, the web-based application. That's why you are going to open your web browser and then enter this URL to work on this. Once you hit this one, you'll get a page like this. See, I have taken a screenshot and prepared this documentation. You can just, you'll get one documentation like this, and it will say the administrator password. So also it is displaying a path where you can find the password. This is the file name where the, you can see this is the file name where the password is available. So you can get this password, put it here, continue. Once you do this continuations, what will happen? Getting started, it will just be install everything. It will just install everything, okay? And it is just installing the default plugins. It is just installing the default plugins. After it installed, you just give the default plugins, whatever is there, just install it. Just click in next and it will be installed. Once installed, First, it will just give you the create first admin user. So you have to use the username, password, email address, everything. Just give it here and just hit save and continue. It will just, your Jenkins will be installed and set up correctly. Okay. So once it is done, what you have to do, let me show you. Once save and continue, if you do it, okay, I think there is some issues with this server and it is not doing it. Let me control C execute. It is stop now. Okay, it is not working. Control C, yes, not working. Okay. Yeah, my server is actually, I installed this one and it is now not responding properly. Let it be there. So once you install, as I showed you, once you install it, my server is not working. Let me close this document. So once you install that, you'll get, and if you do, as I told, you have to, if you're using your laptop and desktop, you have to use localhost 80, localhost colon 8080. If you're using any server, okay, any EC2 instance, EC2 machine, just you have to give your public IP here instead of localhost public IP and hit enter, and it will be created. So 1 second, let me plug in my charger. See, this is the Jenkins page. This is the Jenkins page look like. Okay, I have lots of jobs created for previous 1 year, 1 year before I had created, 1 year and 6 days before I done, and 3 months. All these are there. Okay. Nowadays, and this is the Jenkins page, and this is Jenkins tool look like. Okay, so that's all, guys, for today. Maybe you just get this Jenkins page, and I hope everyone will install today Jenkins and then share the screenshot with me. I want everyone to do this, otherwise you'll forget it. Okay, once this installation is done today, tomorrow we'll go ahead and do and check all other stuffs. Okay, how you'll do on Jenkins, how we'll do set up jobs, and how the configurations, further configurations is required. That we'll learn tomorrow classes. Okay, so a good task for you is to do all this and share screenshot with me. Okay, if you have any difficulties installing all this, you can just text me or you can call me also. Okay, you can help me. Okay, guys, any issues?
Rajit,
Yeah, yeah.
is that like, through AWS, if you create an instance and if you create a Jenkins, that is fine, or in local also we need to install Jenkins and we need to share the page to you?
Anything you can say.
Either one is enough? Okay.
Anyone. If you have in a local desktop you are installing, you can install it, or you can install it EC2 instance, whatever you can do it. Okay, no worries.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys. So I hope everyone will do it today, and by tomorrow you should install all this, and tomorrow we'll continue. So why I am telling all this forcefully, because as when I do the project setup, if you do same time, no, you'll remember everything, or else you'll forget, Okay. So whenever I do this, as I told, this is all are practical based only. There is no theoretical. All are practical. Only I am speaking all the things to make you clear the point and the view. Okay, all are practical things. When I do the practical things, same time you have to also do, because we are giving 1 week gap. In this 1 week gap, if you don't do, you will forget it. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. Anything we need to discuss, or we can wind up this call? I think all good. Okay, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Ranjit.
Bye bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.